we will now be studying the direct and managed project work process of the project integration management. Whenever a project management plan is prepared, it is important to ensure that the right direction and execution of the project management plan is done to ensure the successful completion of the project. So all the activities that will govern the right direction and management of the project work will be studied here in this chapter. So what is a direct and managed project work? The direct and managed project work is a process of leading and performing the work defined in the project management plan and implementing approved changes to achieve the project's objectives. In a direct and managed project work, the project manager, along with the project management team, directs the performance of the planned project activities and manages various technical activities within the project. Also, the project manager should manage any unplanned activity and determine the appropriate course of action for it. The key benefit of the direct and managed project work is that it provides an overall management of the project work. The flow diagram. The flow diagram here shows the various inputs that are required for the direct and managed project work, the tools and techniques that will be applied on those inputs, and the outputs that we are finally going to achieve. So what are the activities that are performed by a direct and managed project work? First one, accomplish project activities. It performs activities to accomplish project goals. Create project deliverables. It creates project deliverables to meet the planned project work. It helps in training and managing the members involved in the team. Obtain, manage and use resources. The resources here could be materials, tools or equipment. Implement the planned methods and standards. It manages project communication channels across the stakeholders. It manages risks and implements risk response activities. And finally, it manages the sellers, suppliers, and the stakeholders. Direct and managed project work require review of the impact of the project changes and implementation of approved changes. Change happens, the required reviewing methods are put into place. So what are the required reviewing methods in a direct and managed project work? The first one, corrective action. Corrective action is an intentional activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. The second one, preventive action. Preventive action is an intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. And finally, the defect repair. It is an intentional activity to modify a non-conforming product or product component. So all these three activities, that is the corrective action, preventive and defect repair, are reviewing methods that are used in the direct and managed project work. So let's come to the inputs required in the direct and managed project work. The first input, project management plan. The project management plan serves as an input to the direct and managed project work and consists of the following components: Scope Management Plan, Requirements Management Plan, Schedule Management Plan, Cost Management Plan, and Stakeholder Management Plan. The second input, approve the change request. We know that any change request has to be approved by the right governing body. So in this case, the approved change requests are implemented by the Change Control Board or the CCB. It modifies the policies, project management plan, procedures, costs or budgets, or revise the schedules. The third input, enterprise environmental factors. So the factors that influence the direct and managed project work are organization, company or customer culture, and structure of the performing or sponsor organizations, infrastructure, personnel administration, stakeholder risk tolerances, and project management information system. The fourth input, organizational process assets. The factors that influence the direct and managed project work are standardized guidelines and work instructions, communication requirements, issue and defect management procedures, process measurement database, project files from previous projects, and issues and defect management database. So let's come to the tools and techniques that will be applied on the inputs. The first one, expert judgment. Expert judgment is basically a tool and technique that is required in any project phase. It is provided by an individual or a group of body, or rather a specialized body that can take technical and functional roles in a project. So why is expert judgment used? An expert judgment is used to assess the inputs needed to direct and manage execution of the project management plan. The second tool and technique, project management information system. The project management information system provides access to tools such as the scheduling tool, a work authorization system, a configuration management system, an information collection and distribution system, or interfaces to other online automated systems. The project management information system guides the entire process and provides the right tools to direct the project work. The third tool and technique is meetings. Meetings should be conducted with a well-defined agenda, purpose, objective, and a time frame, and should be documented in the minute meetings. They are effective when all the participants can be face-to-face in the same location. So why are meetings used? Meetings are used to discuss and address pertinent topics of the project when directing and managing project-related work. The different types of meetings could be information exchange, which could be verbal too, brainstorm or design, and decision-making meetings. The outputs of the direct and managed project work. The first one, deliverables. Deliverables are an important output of any project work, and that is what is expected out of a project. It's a unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. It is tangible. The second one, work performance data. Work performance data are the raw observations and measurements identified during activities being performed to carry out the project work. So what are the different components here? Consists of work completed, KPI, technical performance measures, and a number of change requests. The KPI here basically means the key performance indicator. The key performance indicator is a type of performance measurement that is used by organizations to evaluate its success. The third output, that is the change request. A change request is a formal proposal to modify any document, deliverable, or project baselines. Whenever issues are found during the project work, change request is submitted, which may modify policies, procedures, scope, cost, or budget. So what does it contain? Consists of corrective actions, that is, an activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. It consists of preventive actions, an activity that ensures future performance of the project work. Defect repair, activity to modify a non-conforming product or product component. It consists of updates. The fourth output, that is the project management plan updates. Whenever a change request happens, there are obvious changes to the project management plan too. So the elements of the project management plan that may be updated as a result of the direct and managed project work are scope management plan, requirements management plan, schedule management plan, cost and quality management plan, process improvement plan, the HR or the human resource management plan, communications management plan, risk management plan, procurement management plan, stakeholders management plan, and finally the project baselines. The fifth output is the project document updates. The project documents that may be updated as a result of the direct and managed project work are requirements documentation. The requirements documentation, if you remember, is the preliminary starting stages of a project where the requirements of a project are gathered. Project logs, it consists of issues or assumptions. Risk registers, and finally stakeholder register.